Hey everybody, welcome to Prime Joe Time, Spare Bedroom Studios. With today I have guest Samih Chami. We met while working at the jail together like years back now. It's probably like 10 or 11 years ago. I'll have to ask him to let me know, but it's been quite a while. He's going to dive into his fitness journey. This guy is like one of the most fit people I've ever met in my life. Like abs of steel, man. I just want to get into it and just ask him like, how did you get into this like bodybuilding journey that you're in and just being fit and the training you're doing now? Hey, welcome, Shammy. It's good to see you, brother.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you getting me over.
100%. So going back, I remember when I was working with you years back, I always said to you, like, you're one of the most dedicated people I've ever met, man. Like, I see
Thanks,
your
man.
videos, like your diets and like everything. Like, can you tell me, like, when did you like get the interest into this, like just being fit?
Yeah, 100%, man. No, I appreciate the kind words too, brother. You know what, man? I can look back at probably like as a young man, like in high school time. Like I was a small dude, super insecure. Like I had a complex, man. Like I was scared of the world. I had no confidence. And physically, like I didn't hit puberty till like pretty late, right? So when I got into like college years, I started feeling like, you know how we feel like when we're young men, right? Like we want to be a man. You're trying to find yourself. You're trying to figure out who you are. But I got lucky, man. Like in college, I met some pretty solid dudes. Probably about 2 or 3 guys that were like my really close friends around that time. Probably like '07, '08, '09. And these guys kind of showed me the life, man. They told me like, you know, it's really unhealthy to think this way. You should, you know, you got to think of yourself as like a king, man. And like, you know, if you're unhappy with how you look or how you feel, then you got to kind of change it. Which seems a little cliche, but like at the time, I wasn't really used to that type of like thought process, right? I just wanted things like given to me right away, and I wanted like that quick fix or whatever, right? Like, what's the best way to get jacked quick? And like, that's not reality, right? In anything in life, that's not reality. So, yeah, these guys, I just started training with these guys, and they tried to show me like the right way to. They were puck boys, like growing up, like hockey guys, so they understood like strength and conditioning and all that. And just slowly but surely, like going through college with those guys, man, they were a really good support system for me, and like the right guys I needed at the right time, you know, like they were solid dudes. And it kind of gave me a really good foundation on like how to work out. And one thing led to another, man. And like now I'm 37 now. At the time I was probably like 22. And it's just consistency. Like I've been at it since I was probably 22, 23, man, like hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you went to Fanshawe College and they had a pretty good facility there and like,
Oh yeah.
amazing, world class, right?
100%, man. Like I was in police studies at Fanshawe, and these 2 boys, like you guys will know who you are, Andrew Lashy and Adam Rudder, man. These guys were fucking studs, man. They kind of taught me the ropes, and yeah, going to the gym all the time with the program, and you kind of have to be fit with respect to that program too. So just putting in runs and putting in work, and you know, when you start off as a young man, like you start off ego lifting for quite some time. But the older you get, you mature and like you start understanding like functionality and longevity and the proper way of training. And then, you know, now I've adopted kind of like a really good mindset and lifestyle, and my body responds really well with the type of training I'm doing now. So
Yes. What kind of training are you into now?
yeah, man, I know you were in bodybuilding when I first met you, like pretty hard, right?
Yep.
I probably got into like the ego lifting, like I was using weights and stuff, but it wasn't until I probably started utilizing like calisthenics, body weight, polymetric movement, you know, like chin ups, pull ups, handstands, and then incorporating that with like a solid cardio regimen and weight training. I noticed my body responding really well. I've always been like a really small guy, like a really lean dude. So my problem was putting on weight and putting on that muscle, right? So it wasn't until I started introducing that type of training where I noticed I developed like a solid foundation and functionality obviously too, right? So one thing led to another, and like aesthetically, your body comes together as a man too when you do that kind of training, at least with my body type especially, right? So yeah, mostly calisthenics, and I do some weight training, and then any other training I can get into, like you know, I do some striking, I do a ton of Muay Thai with my homies, and I just try to get my cardio like on point, like respectively.
Yeah.
So what about you, man? You're still training lots as well, right?
Yeah. I've been doing jujitsu. Well, I had knee surgery, took like a year off, like
Yeah.
messed my neck up. And then that was that, but I'm back at it and it's really good. And like, I've been watching videos of you doing the pads, man. Like I remember when you first started,
Yeah,
like,
man.
you've gotten so much more crisp and it looks nice and clean. You're training with some good people. It's amazing. to see.
100%, man. Shout out to some of my training partners. I know you were with me all the time at lunch breaks and during our stuff in the prison. And McGeary, another solid dude, and my buddy Trung right now is just a fucking dialed in motherfucker, man. We're putting in solid work, and you know, it was probably about almost 2 years ago now. 2 Januaries ago, I made a promise to myself. I'm like, you know what? one of my resolutions this year is I want to get dialed in with my striking, right?
Yeah.
I know my calisthenic work and my body training work is good, but I really want to get it dialed into fighting, right? Just in case, just to have a good foundation as a man. Someone puts me in a corner, I need to be able to perform, right?
Yeah.
Especially in our line of work, I feel like that's super important to be a well-rounded officer, having those kind of dialed in skills, right?
To be able to protect yourself.
100%, man.
So like when you got into your training, when did you start noticing like results? Because you said you wanted
Yeah.
instant gratification. A lot of people are like that. You know, like
Yeah.
guys will just jump into steroid use or whatever because they
Yeah.
want to get it quick. But how long did it take you to really start noticing like changes?
Yeah, man, that's a good question, brother. Man, some time I'd imagine, because it takes some time to like kind of work out the kinks with your body and understanding like what kind of foods respond well with you, right? You know, probably in the early years, I wasn't really dieting all that well. I was all about like, you know, let's gain some weight. Let's just like eat. And I was just eating everything under the sun, right? But then you feel unhealthy and it wasn't really good. My body didn't really respond well. My skin didn't respond well. But one thing led to another, man. As you mature as a guy, you start understanding your body a little more. And I started meal prepping. Basically, 2014, I started at the jail and I just started meal prepping, like get a grocery shop, mass prep like a bunch of meals, like 30, 40 meals, freeze them up.
Mhm.
And then this way you just stay dialed in, right? You don't have any excuses that way. For me, it alleviates a lot of the stress of like everyday life when I have like meals and everything dialed in,
Yeah.
right? In the beginning years, you just learn how to like measure things and you understand like caloric intake. But now I've just been doing it for so long. I'm just like, it's second nature. Now I just know how much to cook, what to cook, throw it all in there, right? So
Where did you learn about all the nutrition side of things? Like, did you just learn from other people or reading or just what you like to eat?
man, everything. I feel like anything in life, when you feel really ignorant or just like, you know, not really knowledgeable, I try to do as much knowledge and much research as I can, like talking to people that I looked up to. You read books, self-help books, certain apps like MyFitnessPal and all that. That really helps, right? Like nowadays, there's so much material online. You can go on any YouTube video and just show like the basics, like what you need for caloric intake. And if you want to gain weight, lose weight, what have you, right? So just over the years, man, trial and error and just a lot of research, right? So
And something you said earlier, I found interesting. You were saying that like when you started, like the confidence wasn't there.
yeah,
And then like now when I met you, you were always confident and
Yeah.
like you carried that with you. You were a confident looking fella. You're always happy. Like you're a really good, positive guy.
yeah,
So
man.
the hearing that you thought about yourself is strange. Like when did you notice the mindset change too? Like did that come with it?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. Like, I remember like early years, like all high school, beginning couple years, college and uni, like, you know, I just don't feel confident as a man. I think I just one summer, I had enough, man. Like I was like scared to talk to girls. I was scared to talk to people. I didn't really stand up for myself. And I'm just like, okay, one summer, I honestly could tell you, I woke up, I buzzed my head. I went and got tatted. Now, obviously a little immature way of reacting to it, but I knew I needed to make a change. So, it's funny when people meet me, they're like, man, you're so confident, just like how you talk and all that. But it's because I come from a place that was like fucking dark, man. Like I was super insecure and I had a complexity and, I had a self-reflected period where I'm like, okay, I can't be this anymore and no one's going to come help me. I got to do it myself. So like I said, man, a ton of reading. And, once you hit rock bottom, you got to have to like, you know, the only way you can go is up. As cliche as it sounds, it's true, brother. And then just being comfortable with yourself as a man, right? Once you understand yourself and you understand how your personality and how you work, like you stop really being insecure about things. You know, you start being more comfortable in your body, and you're like, you know what, this is me. You know, I don't have to make anybody happy. It's all about me and just making me happy. And then one thing leads to another, man. I mean, now our age, it's like we've gone through the motions in life, right? We've gone through heartbreak and a bunch of other shit. Like I'm pretty confident with myself as a man, but again, I'm not cocky. I can understand like dynamic, right? But for the most part, man, it's I've come a long way, and just I remember those days, man. I never want to go back to those days, that's for sure. Yeah. And I bet you can relate as well, right?
Oh man, I had similar experiences like in high school. I started working out when I was like really young, I was like 14 years old, because I was really small and I want to play hockey.
Yeah.
And they're like, kept getting cut. They're like, hey, you're not going to make this one. Like you're too small. And then my dad like got me some weights. Like I might have been like 13. I can't remember. But then like confidence started growing. I remember I was like taking photos of myself and stuff. I'm like, look at me. Like I look, and people are like, wow, you look great. And like, I had never felt like I really had that before in anything else. So like to be getting that gratification and like people like encouraging you, they're like, oh man, you're so jacked. You look like John Cena. It's like,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's a big factor too. You're right.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
Like I remember like you always had progress pics and I always like click on them, I like them. I'm like, man, I bet you if you go back to when you first started,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, I've seen a comparison you did once and
Oh,
it was amazing.
People think it's a conceited thing taking photos, but it really is not that. Like, it's a great way for your mind to overcome like the barriers and the insecurity. When you start seeing the progress, you're like, oh man, this is like, in a way, it acts like positive reinforcement. So when some people chirp and, you know, like a couple of people dislike the whole Instagram shit, I'm showing my body off all the time, but it helps me remember like, okay, fuck man, I came from being this skinny, insecure kid. It's like, man, I put in the motions. I'm just trying to be like a motivational guy, really. It's not more or less a conceited thing. It helps with reinforcement, man.
Well,
Definitely.
you know, it's like if you have a nice car, you want to drive it and wax it up and
100%.
take it out, just to shove it in the garage and
100%.
like you earned that. I think
Hell
you
yeah.
deserve to show it off. Like you're gonna want to take pictures and like be like, yo, look at me, like I look
100%.
good. Like
You're right. There's that aspect of it too, man. Like, you know, this is one life, man. We're going to show it off. If I have a Lambo in the driveway, I'm fucking taking that through the city, man. I want to show everybody who's fucking king, right? So yeah,
Oh,
man, you're right. That's a solid point.
I completely feel that, man.
Yeah, man.
So as you were working out and like now you're at the stage you are now, like what advice would you give to beginners who are just starting out? Because some people are like, man, like I don't know what to do. Like I'm too embarrassed to go to the gym.
Good question, man. You know what? The big thing that helped me is like find somebody that you look up to, right? In that realm. You know, I always, you know, when we were young, right? Like I'm 6 foot. I think I was like a $140. And like, I remember having like posters of Arnold and I'm like, oh, I want to be like him. It's like, man, I'm not 6'5".
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like 260. Like my frame doesn't even compare to this guy. So how can I aspire to be someone like that? Right. So I'm like, forget about me idolizing like superstars or famous people. I found somebody in my tight circle who I look up to, like not only like on a personal level, but like physically. I'm like, okay, man, you look like my frame, but you're fucking shredded. Like I want to look like you. So just pick people's brain, man, and do a ton of research. That helped me a lot. And obviously just like educating yourself as much as possible, right? 100%.
So that's, I had a buddy come on. He's actually talking about like who you circle yourself with, like mentors.
Yeah.
Someone that you can aspire to be like. If you're hanging around a bunch of losers, you're going to be a loser. So you picked winners.
Yeah.
And is that a way that, cause like you're a very successful guy. Every time like I remember like you always found a way to just be successful.
Yeah.
Like you were successful with your training. And then even as you came into the workplace, you got successful there too. Like, do you think this is attributed to like your training and like, where did you learn to get like that?
Yeah, you're right, man. I think it's like habits, right? There's a saying where it's like, if you're the smartest man in the room, you're the wrong room.
Yeah.
And you know, inconsistency helps too, but you got to understand like, okay, I've hit a plateau. I need to be better. And just constantly attacking things is definitely one thing I'd recommend to somebody starting out, right? Like, again, everybody wants that quick fix. So whether that's a personal thing or a professional thing that you want to do in your job, striving for self-development is a big thing that's going to help you as a man and grow. That's for sure. So that constant need for self-development, I think that's really helped me like not only push me past physically in my fitness life, but professionally as well. And my relationships as well. Right. Just that constant strive for self-development and wanting to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, I love that because like I kind of have a voice in my head. Like if I ever miss the gym, it's like, don't be a pathetic loser. Like, what are you doing? Do you get that too? Like
100%, man. Yeah. You know what? Like I said, like knowing my past and the dark like side of how I used to think, I always tell myself like, no, you need to get up. I never really struggle all that much anymore because now it's just become a part of my life. Like it's just been a part of my life for so long. Now it's just like, well, you wouldn't really get out of the house and leave without brushing your teeth. So it's like, I'm not going to start my day without training, right? Like that's kind of the realm I put it in.
Yeah.
Whereas some people are like, man, you know, like, I don't know what to do. Like, should I start? I'll start tomorrow. It's like, no. You got to reframe your mind. You start today. You start now. Like, you got time? You got an hour? Go bang it out now if you're real about this. And that's the type of wiring you have to kind of give your brain, man.
Yeah, you make the time, right? Like you
100%.
woke up this morning, went to the gym, right?
100%. Yeah, I'm up every day, like 4:15, 4:20. And then I'm at the gym at 5 a.m. and banging it out before work. So
that's what champions are made of. And I see you jumping in the ice bath too, man.
Oh man, I've been really dialed in with that too, right? I'm just striving for like mental strength, right? I'm trying to like work on some breathing and my mental strength. And what better way to do that, man, than cold plunging? Like you probably read all the benefits and stuff too, brother. It's
Especially before you work out.
oh yeah.
Like that's when you get the most benefits from it. I'm a Joe Rogan guy. Like
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like pre-starting your day, it should be cold plunging.
Yeah.
And then post-workout at the end of your day, you should be like the hot, like sauna or hot tub type of thing, right?
I'd love to get a sauna in my yard.
Yeah.
That'd be
But-
sweet.
I know there are people that have opinions on the cold plunge. However, I feel like nothing but the benefits, man. You feel amazing. You feel recharged. You know, you feel like a fucking king coming out of that tub. As silly as it sounds, it's amazing. I really recommend it to people, brother.
Gives you a nice buzz. I just do the cold shower, man. Like
That's cool too, man.
I would love to get an ice bath, but you have like one of those. Do you have like an inflatable one, or is it like a metal one, or like what is that?
Yeah, I used to, but then it popped. The ice kind of damaged it. So now I bought like a 200-gallon horse trough. Like it's a big, heavy-duty Rubbermaid tub that I bought at like PV Mart, like a farmer's market type of thing, right? So I filled it up, man. It's like almost a gallon and 150 to 200 gallons of water. And I just leave that outside. I got an axe. I break the ice and I just go in, man. I get it in. So
How long are you staying in that thing for?
I do max of 3 minutes.
Okay.
3 minutes is like my happy place. I'm pretty sure from the research I've read, it's like 6 minutes max. So then you get into hypothermia. So you got to be careful. But
Yeah.
I like that 3 minute mark. You know what I mean? And if it's cold enough, you kind of go numb, right? So you kind of just learn to embrace it. And I'm telling you, man, if I can recommend anything to anybody, if they want to work on like their discipline and just forcing positive thoughts in your mind, doing something like that, putting your body under some sort of stress response like that, it's incredible, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, You've tried that before, hey?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got to get you over at my
I'd love
tub
to.
and try it out, man.
The hard
Absolutely.
part is breathing.
Yes,
Like
it is.
when I used to do it when I was a kid. I used to try to impress my friends. I'd like run up and like they'd be like, "Go jump in that puddle." It'd be like the middle of the winter. I'm like,
Yeah.
"All right."
Yeah.
And then like you get super cold, and I do the cold showers, but I don't have an ice bath.
Yeah. No,
But-
but still, that does the trick, man.
Man, like it makes me feel so good. Like your body feels great. I'd love to do that.
So you mentioned the breathing, like, especially in our line of work, you know, say we deal with a crazy stress response, like of an incident, right? A lot of officers, their performance deteriorates when your arousal is like through the roof, right? So the biggest thing is arousal control, right? What better way to practice that than that kind of thing, right? If you go through a tub, your body wants to panic, you're like, you lose your breath. And if you really stay committed to some breathing techniques, Wim Hof breathing techniques really helps me a lot. You know, if you've heard of Wim Hof,
No.
Wim Hof breathing. Yeah, there's a bunch of tactical breathing techniques that help you like kind of control your breath and kind of get like in control of the situation. Right?
Is that what it's about? That what's it called? Wim Hof?
Wim Hof? Yeah, he's actually like a famous cold plunger on YouTube.
Okay.
He lives in the Scandinavian countries. I want to say Norway or
Is
something.
that the
but
Iceman? The guy that
Yeah,
runs with like like a t-shirt or like bare shirt up a
I
mountain?
think that's him. Yeah, I think that's him. But yeah, he has a great breathing technique posted up on YouTube. That's him, man. That's
Yeah.
great.
That's the guy.
So he actually offers on YouTube, there's a video that's about 11, 12 minutes long, and it's like a breathing guide. Okay. It shows you how to do like the proper breathing techniques.
Oh,
And when you jump into cold water, man, it's fantastic, brother.
it's like Boss Rutan.
Yeah, it really is, man. This guy is really dialed in. So
Yeah. You know, I just remember like one day you came up and we were in the change room, and then you told me that I can't even believe it, but you said you had like a heart condition and that you're going to get
Yeah.
surgery. Like when did you find out about that? Like what was that like finding out about that?
Yeah.
Being such a fit guy, like you're like, if I looked in the dictionary for the definition of fitness, I think your name would be
That's
in
it.
there along with some other guys that I know.
appreciate.
But like, when did you find out about that? And
Yeah.
like, can you explain that? Like,
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, so as a young man, like early 20s, all I knew was that like I had a systolic click in my heart. They told me, oh, you know what? It's pretty mild, like nothing to be concerned about. Just keep an eye on it. So going through the motions in life, like fast forward like 8 years. And obviously being a fit dude, like I didn't think anything of it, man. I've gone checked up and I've gone physicals all the time. Nothing kind of got brought up like that at all, right? It wasn't until the summer of 22 and I was due for a physical. I think at the time it had been a while. So I went in for a physical and then they're like, you know what? We are hearing your heart like systolic click and we should probably get that checked out just one more time and just, you know, an updated version of tests. So I went and get it checked out. And then that's when they told me the news, like, yeah, it was late of 2022. They told me that I had a mitral valve prolapse. So one of my mitral valves in my heart essentially was like leaking and regurgitating blood in the opposite direction.
Wow.
So if you want to imagine your heart or the valves in your heart like doors, like opening, shutting properly for efficient pumps, my one valve was like swinging open in opposite directions. So it's obviously can get very dangerous, right? Blood is getting pulled through in the wrong, like in a wrong direction, essentially. So they're like, you need to get this fixed. You need to do a valve repair. So they sent me in for a specialist. And after a series of tests, they've confirmed that, yep, I had essentially a mitral valve prolapse and I needed to get a valve repair. The good thing is my valve and my heart chambers were like in really good condition. They could salvage my valve. Some people have to go to like pig valve or artificial valve. Luckily
Arnold
for me, they
Schwarzenegger
told
did
me.
that. Sorry. Arnold Schwarzenegger had to have that done.
Did he?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But looking at you, no wonder it was salvageable. Look at you, man. Like,
Yeah.
you're fit.
Man, some people don't have the luxury. Like some people's valves are in really bad shape and then they have to get like an artificial valve, right? So luckily for me, they told me that the valve was salvageable. They just had to go in and repair. So the downfall to that is it's done via open heart surgery. So I had to get a median sternotomy. They saw you down in the middle and they opened your rib cage up. And yeah, man, it was a pretty brutal surgery, man. It was a tough recovery. But that's kind of what the events that kind of led to me finding out about it. And one thing led to another, man. And the surgery happened May 2023. Yeah.
So, but you knew that you had this from like a young age?
Again, like I was in the early 20s. I didn't know I had it, the situation that severe. All they told me was that like my heartbeat had like a clicking sound and nothing really to be crazy concerned about. Right. But, and like I said, after I heard that, like, I mean, if they had nothing to be concerned about, I had no symptoms at all.
You didn't have any symptoms? You didn't
No,
get
zero
tired or
symptoms.
anything?
Nothing,
Even
brother.
working out?
Nothing. I was like, you saw me, man. I was jumping around like a monkey in the gym and I was killing it. It was just out of a fluke of getting that physical done. And they're like, oh man, your valve is like in really bad shape now. Like you're leaking quite a bit. And they call it regurgitation. It's one of the valves essentially enlarges to compensate. And the blood that's being pulled in the opposite direction is like, it's like far too much. So they're like, if you don't get this fixed, you can have a heart attack. You can have clotting issues. So, yeah, basically they greenlit me, man. But here's the kicker, brother. My recovery was only 4 months, like from the from getting cut open to returning at work full duties, like ready to get into a fight, brother. It was 4 months, man. And I owe that all to my fitness and lifestyle, kind of like how I was living my life prior to, right? They told me that the fitter you are and the bigger grasp you have on your cardiovascular health, you can rebound really quickly from the surgery like this. But man, one thing led to another, man. And incredibly, I fucking bounced back, bro.
Well, I remember seeing you back.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your like your mental health through all this. Because like you look at a lot of these people where they're very fit people, they're very like active.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden something comes down. And how did you not get into this like why me mentality or like talk to me about that. Did you have any struggles with like thinking to yourself like, oh, it's really easy to be the victim here?
Buddy, 100%, man. I'm glad you brought that up. For sure. I went through actually a series of like phases. Like initially I went through sadness. Like you get sad and you break down. I think when they first told me, I was fucking so scared, man. And then you get angry. Then you're like, why? Like, why me? Like I'm fit as fuck. Like, why am I getting this out of all people? Right? Like it was almost like added like salt in the wound because it's like, I don't fuck around. Like I'm really dialed in with my eating, with my lifestyle, with everything. It's like, how could this happen to me? Right? And then you get into denial. You're like, oh man, maybe they're wrong. Like maybe I should go see somebody else and get their opinion on the matter. Right? But man, I would say the mental health really like goes down hard, man, when you're in the recovery mode. Like when I left the hospital, I went home, man, you go through it, bro. You know, you're just like, you're hurting like crazy. The pain meds really don't all do that much. And then I think naturally when you're injured, you go through like a depressive state, right? You're like, man, I just hope I can bounce back. And I was having some tough days, man. I'll be real. Like, I'm not scared to say, like, a lot of breaking down, a lot of crying, like, getting rid of that, like, bad energy. Like, after a good cry or just venting to my girl, you rebound quite a bit, man. You know what? And constantly telling myself, like, after the denial and the anger and all that, you come to realize that we're fragile beings, brother. Okay. This physical world, we're fragile beings, but we're incredibly resilient. It's incredible what the human mind and the body are capable of. And when I got to see that firsthand, it made me bounce back real quick, brother. That depressive thing was only like a very short time. And, I was able to like walk down the hallway in my house and then walk to the mailbox and then walk to the end of the block and then walking around my neighborhood. And then that turned into doing like a solid 2K run with no issues. And then that turned into like hitting pads with my boys for the first time and then building your strength up again. You start to see this in real time. I'm talking like days, weeks progress, brother. And you're like, holy fuck, man, this is pretty incredible. And then you just start to rebound naturally, right? I think it's in life as a man, you're going to go through some down spells. You go through ups and some downs in life. But like I said, man, no one is immune to health issues. The important thing is you lay a solid foundation for yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. So if and when those bad things happen, you can just bounce back like incredibly.
Yeah, man. So what tests did you have to do initially to even find, like, other than just doing, did they listen to your heart? Did you have to wear like one of those monitors when you first found out?
Yeah, good question, man. The initial things, like you wear the monitors for 24 hours. They get to read your stress, your graphs, I mean. Then you do a stress test. And then they need to see like visually a better image of what's going on in there, right? So I did an ultrasound, like you do an echo and you do a bunch of other shit. But eventually, it was like November of 22, they had to do like a transesophageal ultrasound. So the same thing when you go in for an ultrasound and they hold the wand. Well, this wand goes down your throat, and what it does is it sits fairly close to the heart valves, so they get to see like a very clear image of what's going on. So I remember going to the Maz. Shout out to the Mazakowski, man, the Heart Institute here in Edmonton, man. Everybody was incredible, and those nurses were amazing, man. So shout out to everybody at the Heart Institute. They really took care of me real well. But yeah, they gave me they give you a sedative and they kind of put you half asleep, half awake, and then they start feeding the tube down your throat and they take the accurate pics. That's when they knew officially that it was a congenital development. So the heart valve issue must have developed early stages of development and just wasn't noticed until like late adulthood, right? So that's how they can figure it out, because they can figure it out whether it was like, was it an infection that you got when you were a baby, or is this something that was during development? And they concluded that it was conclusive evidence to show that it happened during baby development, essentially.
My daughter was born with that, but hers healed. But they'll give you like symptoms on like a sheet when you bring your kid home. Like they'll turn blue, or like we didn't really notice much, but like she healed.
Incredible, man.
Medical science is amazing nowadays. And so when from this point, how long because like we keep hearing about the horrors of the Canadian medical system.
Good question, man.
But how long did it take for you to get to the surgery? Like, did they cancel it on you? Did anything happen?
Yeah, man. So they greenlit me for surgery in August 2022. And a series of tests happened. The initials was that they were going to give me the surgery in April, like beginning of April of 23. Okay. And I was getting ready. I remember we're packing our bags. We're about to go. And I got a phone call from the U of A saying, the ICU is filled. We don't have any beds available. Like, we're going to have to postpone your surgery. So unfortunately, that happened basically every week of April. And then, a couple weeks into May, and then I finally got in on May 2023. So it was about a month and a half of cancellations, sporadically, and then eventually got in. So, man, it's a bit frustrating, right? But I assure you, what kept me in the positive realm was that, like, we do have an incredible healthcare system compared to a lot of countries in the world. Like, God forbid, if I grew up in some underdeveloped countries, like, they don't have any surgeons available to even fix you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're living impoverishedly, like, you're kind of stuck. So I'm blessed that at least we're a part of a good healthcare system where eventually I was able to get in. I think I maybe waited 8 months, maybe if that. Yeah, it gets a bit frustrating, and there are some pros and cons to the healthcare system and all that. However, I'm just blessed that I was able to get in and have a successful surgery and have like such amazing people kind of look after me during my surgery and my stay in the ICU, brother.
Oh, like the toll that must have put on you though, because I remember
man.
talking to you and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, geez, man, like because you're prepared,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, sorry, no, like, but you know, it got done. Like, how did that feel though? Just
Yeah.
like,
Man,
frustrating?
absolutely. Like, you anticipate it, right? You have all this anxiety and like, you kind of don't want to go, and then you're ready to leave. And then they tell you, oh, you can't do it. And then having it over and over, it obviously fucks with your mind, right? It sucks.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, I think, that's the importance of being such a healthy person in life, is that if you're a slave to the healthcare system, man, you're kind of, in a way, you're kind of fucked, right? Like you're succumbing to like the busy times and the waits and the cancellations and all that. So man, I'd rather be healthy and not be in a hospital ever again. You know what I mean? So I only want to go there if I have to. But absolutely, man, it played a mental toll. And then especially when I got home, like post ICU, and then the real reality hits it, man, you go through it, brother. You go through it.
And walking through the recovery, like after the surgery, how long were you in the hospital for?
Yeah, man. I was in the hospital about 5 days. So surgery was about 5-6 hours, and median sternotomy. So they saw you down the middle, they deflate both your lungs, and then a machine is keeping you essentially like the circulation alive and such. And then when I woke up in the ICU, I stayed in the ICU about 3-4 days, and in like a recovery section of the hospital for a couple more days. So I'd probably say a week or just under at the hospital, and then I got dismissed and got home. And then the real ride started, man, because the intravenous painkillers are gone now. So now that you're on pills, and anybody who's taking opiates and stuff like that for pills, it's fucking awful, right? Pain management was a really tough thing, and when you have your rib cage opened up, it's like even just laying flat hurts. So you kind of go through it, but recovery was an interesting ride at home, man. It was tough. Yeah. Do you want to know about like specifics, right?
If you're willing to share it,
Yeah,
then like just to the point where, because you were saying to be able to like walk upstairs, walk down the hall, weight train.
Yeah.
Like how long did it take for you to do all these activities again?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. Like, it took about a month to start feeling like a little bit mobility again, right? Like a month was, pretty accurate, where I could at least like walk around the house with no help for the most part, right? I was walking up and down stairs. I was having a shower for the most part unsupervised. But I remember in the early stages, I had to buy one of those shower seats. And my girl, God bless her heart, man, like my girl had to bathe me like every day, man. Like it sucks. Like I couldn't even care for myself in the beginning stages. And then slowly but surely, it wasn't until probably about 2 months in recovery where I was able to like walk around the neighborhood, and I was just taking my dogs for a walk and doing my thing. And then the 3-month and 4-month mark, I was going to the Maz once or twice a week and doing like, they're setting me up with telemetry, and I was running, like jogging, walking, running. And like I said, man, week after week, it got slowly better and better. And before my return to work, I basically had them push me to like an extreme. I told them, I want you to hit me like a high intensity. I even brought my mitts to the hospital. They found me a boxing bag. I put in some rounds while I was all hooked up. Like they did everything just to make sure that I was like A-okay, right? So I'd say about a month or two to start feeling like a normal human being again. And then obviously due to my fitness and my lifestyle prior to, it helped me bounce back really quick. Those latter 2 months, like, man, I turned into Samih Chami again, essentially. So
Back to a beast.
buddy, wild to think about 4 months after, man. It's crazy.
Was there any specific like diets? Because you're already healthy, man. Like,
Yeah.
like did they have you like eating certain foods to help you recover and stuff, and like vitamins and
Yeah, they have you on a ton of beta blockers and blood thinners. So they want you to stay away from like leafy greens. You can't have any vitamin K because it counteracts with the blood thinners. So they had me on like pretty strict things for the most part. Like it sounds silly, right? Heart surgery, you think that you would want to eat healthy, but They wanted me to stay away from the healthy greens because how it counteracts with the blood thinners. So I was essentially eating everything else that I could, like avocado toast, like brat diet stuff, like rice, bananas, apples, just like basic stuff until the painkillers kind of wore off, slowly coming off the painkillers, and I was getting my appetite and stuff back, right? But yeah, man, gruesome 4 months, especially with those blood thinners, because I had to go get blood work like every week, getting pricked every week, and they're giving you more and more to kind of alleviate some of the ups and downs, the symptoms with it, right? So, but slowly but surely, my life kind of went back to normal after that 4 or 5 month period, brother.
Do they tell you like, is your heart better than, like, obviously it's better than before? Like, did you feel like more powerful? Like, did you
Yeah,
feel
good
better
question.
workouts and stuff?
Yeah, man. Like, honestly, man, I didn't feel any symptoms prior to them finding this, right? So as soon as I started healing and I felt like myself again, I felt like Sammy Chami. Like, again, I didn't really feel any stronger or weaker than before. I felt like I bounced back really good. Um, Obviously I feel really good with my cardio, and I get tested once a year now. So every September I go in for like thorough blood work. They do echo. I do stress tests, and I do kind of like the whole nine and just double check. And they've even done like ultrasounds of my chambers and my valve, and like everything is A-okay, man. So
Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah,
that's amazing, bro.
yeah,
I'm so happy to
man,
hear that.
I'm
And like,
blessed.
you're a beast always. Like, you're always into the gym. You're so fit. And like, I'm so glad that you recovered and saw that you recovered so well. And
Thanks,
then when you
buddy.
came back to work, you were back in the gym. And then after all this happens, I remember, like, is at this point in time, you were a supervisor with us. And then when did you decide to transition to become a sheriff? Like, you're like, what, like, when did this happen? Like, did you just decide one day you want to try something different?
Yeah, man. So I did put in a solid 10 years at the prison, right?
Mhm.
And you know what? I always promised myself that, and at any point in life, if I start feeling not necessarily unhappy, but like if I start feeling like, okay, maybe it's time to learn some new things and open up a new chapter, I'm always going to follow my intuition and just like go for it, right? So, man, I made a solid career out of the prison, man. Like, I can't even talk shit. You know me, like I got involved with everything. We were involved in specialized teams, like TAC and a bunch of other things. Shout out to our team, man. Like, those guys kept me there for quite some time, man. But like I said, that 10th year, I started feeling like, okay, I feel like I want to learn some new shit. I want to challenge myself in a way that maybe I haven't been challenged before. So I put in a lot of work with the control tactics and the instructing side of things. And I've kind of developed this like incredible, like CV, essentially, like all these certifications and all that. And the sheriff's thing just sounded like the right choice, right? All that stuff under the provincial government just carried over beautifully. So you know what? I went around and I asked some people what their thoughts were. I talked to some people that are on that side of the fence and kind of what they felt about the job. And everyone I spoke to felt like, you know, they were really enjoying it. So after speaking with some sergeants and speaking with my girl and some family, I made a decision to, you know what, high risk, high reward, man. Let's just go take the plunge, see what I can get into. And then I can figure out like, okay, is this something that I want or what? Right. So again, what led me to leave was almost just that strive for self-development, right? I just knew that I want to learn some new shit. I think it's time. Like 10 years is a long time. It's time to open up a new chapter. I think it was healthy. My mind and my soul were kind of calling for it. So yeah, man, one thing led to another. And I just spent a short time as a rookie. And then with all my tactics background, I got promoted in this January to the tactics division with the branch. So I've been teaching full time now. So I'm blessed, man. All that hard work really gave me a lot of momentum.
Yeah. So a lot of your skills transitioned like so well into that department. Did you have any interest in policing, or now is there like restrictions on you if you did apply, or?
Yeah. Good question, man. Like, you know, I did criminology in university, and then before that police studies. So I knew that I wanted to pursue a career in law enforcement. And, you know, having a solid career in corrections, that was scratching my itch for a really long time. So policing is always getting in the back of my mind, but slowly but surely, here in Alberta, the sheriff branch is becoming more and more like that police agency, right? We cover like a huge umbrella of different branches and different disciplines. So I felt, you know what? let me go and try this and see what happens. And then maybe if it was meant to be, it would lead me to other things. But sure enough, man, like I've made so far a pretty successful career. Not to sound too cliche, man, but this goes to a lot of, I hope this reaches a lot of young men out there in the sense that no matter where you are in life, if you just put in like a lot of hard work and just try to strive for like a lot of self-development, no matter what kind of opportunities and doors you open up down the way, it will give you momentum, man. It gives you a ton of momentum. And at the time, it might not feel like much, but there's going to be a time and place where people remember you and your reputation is going to precede you, right? And one thing leads to another. So I'm super blessed that I carried on with that type of mindset, because with the Passover event, it's been nothing but like great, man, ton of opportunities.
It's awesome you said that, because there was I remember telling you the story. We were at this barbecue like one time.
Yeah.
And I hit this point in my life where like I was like pretty negative for quite a while. I got caught in that negativity trap. And then one day I was sitting with you and we were enjoying our barbecue, and I was like, I just like was smiling at it, and you're like, "What's up, bro?" And I was like, "God, you're so positive, bro. I want to be more like you."
Yeah.
And it was like a light hit me. And then like being with my wife, like my wife greatly influenced my life to be better. But I was like, what you just said, because I had to rebuild a lot of relationships from being negative and like apologize to people. And it held a lot of doors shut for me, man, because people are like, "Oh, great guy," but you can get pretty,
Yeah.
do you want that person being part of your team? Like, I want someone like Samih Chami, man, like you're a positive, happy guy. You bring that to other people. You make people around you better.
Man, I appreciate you, brother. And like, I don't know if you give yourself enough credit too, because we've known each other a long time, man, over a decade from the prison and stuff. And like, I remember how you were at one point and then how you bounced back, man. Like, it's super admirable, man. And you share that a lot with me, man, like your positivity and your mindset. And like, you've been putting in work with jits and with fitness too. I feel like in life, like you mentioned, it's important for guys to surround themselves with like-minded guys, dude, right? So, man, I believe it or not, man, like I looked up to you too, and me and you shared a lot of the same values, man. And I think that's why we've clicked for so long, and not only like on a personal level, but professionally too. Like, being threes and going up in that kind of sergeant role in the prison, man, like we were putting in work, brother, together. So kudos to you, man, if you don't give yourself credit, brother.
Thanks, buddy.
My man.
Appreciate that.
Of course,
And
bro.
so when you were doing like the training, like, what was that like? What was it like at the academy? Because you've already done a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
But then you moved on. How many weeks was that? Was it a couple of months, like at the training academy, become a sheriff? Like, what was that?
Yeah, man. Like, it's funny. I got a lot of flack from people. They're like, "Man, you've been teaching all this. Like, what, you're going to go be a rookie?" I'm like, man, sometimes in life, man, you got to get humbled, and, you'll be a student, work your way up to instructor. And then in that case, I was kind of a student again. So it was a very humbling experience, and I was open to it. Luckily for me, I did a transition course, so 2 months, and they catch you up on the legal stuff that you need to know, and you get certified in like your firearm stuff, right? Everything else, obviously, like I put in a lot of work with teaching and instructing. So the CT world wasn't all that new to me. I just kind of had to go through the motions and do what I needed to do. But again, man, I made sure during my experience at the academy that, everybody treated me like a recruit, because that's what I was. At the end of the day, I got demoted. Like I abandoned my sergeant's stripes to be a recruit again. For the greater good, right? So I really had to go through the motions, man, and I was open to it. But it was incredible, like exposing myself to a lot of the firearms world, which we're not used to in the corrections world, and familiarizing yourself with a lot of the legal stuff, and the emergency vehicle course. They make you kind of get really dialed in with that, man. So it's really cool, man. I was super happy I did it. I'm glad that they didn't just patch me over and then just like put me in a spot where I was a sergeant. It's like, no. In the sheriff world, I'm a rookie, man. Let's start from the bottom and let me work my way up on my own, right? So, but like I said, with all that hard work that got put in all those years before, it gave me a ton of momentum, man. So, I'm blessed to be a part of this branch now, and I'm almost 2 years in now. So shockingly, time flies, brother.
It does fly.
You're having fun, right?
Isn't it like an amazing experience though? Because that was something I used to be scared of too, like being new at something.
Yeah.
It is scary, but it's also an amazing experience. Like, you're the bottom guy, but that's the most exciting part about it, is learning new things, and people can help you, and you have tools to make people want to help you. Like you just said, like, so what, you're the rookie.
Yeah.
But look how much better you are now and how much better things have gone.
100%, man. I think as men, our egos can be very destructive. Like there's going to be a time where you have to make a tactical decision and shut those voices off. And yeah, man, absolutely. It's very healthy to be a rookie again. And you should be always throwing yourself in that realm of uncomfortability, right? You know, yeah, it's not comfortable and it doesn't feel all that good being like that new guy again. But man, it's important. Like you got to build a foundation and build those skill sets. If it means me going to be a rookie again and feeling a bit awkward for a couple months, like I'll go do it. Right. At this point, just dealing with all the things that we dealt with the prison and then all the challenging things that we've run into our life. I know you're like me in the sense that, man, like I don't have much fear anymore, you know, with anything in life. If anything comes my way, like I've already proved to myself, let alone other people, I proved to myself that I can overcome anything, man. So I had that mindset really. And I kept telling myself, no, you can do this and you will do this. And it sounds cliche as hell, man, but I feel like anything that's going to help you in life kind of overcome those insecurities and those voices in your head, man, like do it. Right.
It's like your own worst enemy because it's like holding yourself back.
Oh,
People
yeah.
are scared to do anything because they don't want to feel stupid or they're not humble and like the ego.
Yeah.
Being like that was something that was good for me about getting in when we were talking about jiu-jitsu and like the martial arts training.
Oh, man.
I started out, I was like awkward, like I didn't know what I was doing. And like that really helped me become humble. Yeah. And like you already had a good mentality like that. And like when the weight training and what the training you'd done,
yeah,
you had a good humble mindset.
You're right, man. Like martial arts and not only fitness, but martial arts specifically, man. Like you go to these gyms and I remember going with my buddy to a Muay Thai gym here in town. And on the latter end of our training session, I was sparring with like a 15-year-old kid. Man, this kid was fucking half my size, brother. And we're sparring and this kid is piecing me apart. I'm like, oh my God, like in a totem pole of life here, like this guy is more advanced fighter than me. So it really does humble you and it gets your ego in check, right? It's very healthy, I think. So yeah, man, absolutely. And what better way? Like martial arts really, really hits home for that.
That happened to me when I started too. There was like this 12-year-old kid like triangled me like 3 times. And then this one girl that actually ended up working with us later on. But at the time she was just she's a beast of a girl, like not like in a bad way, but like for sure. That's a compliment. Like she's fit. She's just choking me out. And I'm like, what the heck? I thought I was going to like go there and smash everyone through the floor. And like, I'm jacked. Like, but that was completely shut down. I was humbled immediately.
Yeah.
And like this 15-year-old kid just piecing up, you're probably like went home. You're like, whoa.
100%, man. You ever hear the line, like if you're the loudest man in the room, you're the weakest man in the room. Right. So I think the older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing like I need to shush, you know, and we got to check the ego a bit sometimes and, you know, only speak when really it's appropriate. But it's super common to think like, man, I can do this. I can take this guy or I can take this person. But it's not until you start training martial arts or just challenging yourself in a lot of physical ways, you start realizing, oh, man, there's levels to everything. And I gotta shush and be more of a learner than a talker, right?
Yeah, that'd be 100%. Like for me, that when you're talking about the firearms, like I have no firearm experience, man. I can't imagine that must have been like for you.
Yeah, man.
But I would love to like see how that's done, and I'd have to sit back and like become a student again.
For sure, brother.
That's okay.
I think if you ever made a decision, like say to patch over, like you just going through the recruit motions, man. Like that's a great thing about joining an agency or an organization like the sheriffs or even police. Like you don't need to have an advanced level to kind of go in, you know, they'll build you from the ground up and just like anything in life, the more you attack it, the more you're consistent and strive for self-development, you become really good at it. Right. Even the most expert shooters, they were a rookie at one point, right? They knew nothing at one point. So I kept that mindset, man. And I know you can get there, man. As long as you expose yourself to that type of thing, like you can definitely get there. 100%.
Yeah, I'd love to.
100%.
So what goals do you have moving forward in your job here or just in your life?
Yeah, man. It's a good question, brother. Definitely I want to continue to challenge myself, not only like in a professional way, but physical ways too, right? Like I have a buddy right now. Shout out to my buddy Scotty. He's training for a triathlon right now, and he's doing a lot of running, biking, and swimming. So, you know, I tell him, like, you know what, man, I want to challenge myself. I haven't swam in a long time. Like, let's go put in some work. Let's go put in laps. So I've been doing that with him a lot and training. And essentially what I want to do is I want to expose myself to as much as I can and try to be a more well-rounded guy, like well-rounded human. It sounds funny, but like little things like chess, right? Like I bought a chessboard, and me and my girl were like, hey, let's start getting good at chess, playing games every day. So yeah, just basically challenge myself mentally and physically in any way I can. And just continue to be like the best man I could be, man. Be a protector, be a provider, be there for my friends and family, and just continue being that like positive force in my life, right, man? That's the biggest thing I think I want to work on this year. How about yourself, man? Tell me.
Well, goals, I set like long-term goals, but like little short-term goals.
Yeah.
Because that was something I found before. I didn't have any direction. And like, I know you're a goals guy, like you have but it comes with your dedication and making sure you follow through. But like a goal for me to eventually get my black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Really?
And I'm going to start kickboxing again here soon.
Nice.
I have a couple friends who have a gym, like he has a gym opening. His name's Kenny. He has Brave Fitness
Okay.
and martial arts. Him and his brother teach there. But another guy that I train with, his name's Tanner Bozer. He's going to be opening a gym out in Fort Saskatchewan. It's just closer to where I'm located.
That's right.
So I'm going to go check out his gym. It's called Bulldozer MMA. Shout out to Tanner Bozer. The guy fought in the UFC. He's just
Yeah, I know Tanner.
Oh,
I know
trained
of him.
him?
Yeah, I watch his fights and stuff. So solid, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah, so I want to go check that out. I want to do a little striking.
Yeah, man.
That's just some goals I have. There's nothing crazy. And then I also want to be the best husband and father I can be. I've been working on just becoming a little bit better in every area of my life and having that balance, man. It's hard to find balance in life with work, physical activity, and just everything.
Good for you, man. And I know being a dad, like your daughter, seeing a father figure like that who's like committed and providing, protecting, and just being like the best man, like it's gonna rub off on her so much, man. So kudos to you, brother. Like super admirable, and I'm proud of you, brother. You're killing it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying my best.
Hell yeah, man. Me too.
Yeah, you're doing your best.
Appreciate you.
So a message that you can take away from this, like just for the audience, like when you're going through a hard time, like what do you do? Cause like you're a guy, like I've never saw you be negative, man, but like I know we all go through our things.
Yeah.
But like what can you do to keep that momentum of being positive like you? What do you do? Is it good inner talk? Is it the exercise? Like, is it a mix of everything?
Yeah, for sure, man. I think it's a mix of everything. You need to have a healthy balance in your life. I feel like any young men out there that are going through it and they want to be better, you know, start getting dialed in with your physical health, start putting in work, start exercising, you know, go on YouTube, find somebody, get a regimented plan, and be consistent. I mean, start today. Spiritual, get a little better with your mindfulness and, you know, pray or meditate or whatever you need to do, get dialed in with your spirituality. And if you have a support system like your family or girlfriend or wife, be a good man, sit with them, communicate, vent. You know, this is all going to help build you up. And it sounds silly, but I have to say, like, what helps me, especially in the moments of feeling down, is like telling myself, you know what, like I am capable, I am deserving, like I'm a fucking king, man. So I have to behave like one. Now it might sound silly to some, man, but like that's a constant self-talk I tell myself all the time. You know, Sam, you're a fucking king, man. Just keep pushing through, keep push through. You're gonna rise above this challenge. So if you have that mindset, I feel like no matter what comes your way, you're gonna overcome it. You just got to be a good man and stay on the straight and narrow. And I'm a big believer, good things will come to those that follow that kind of path.
Man, I love it.
My man.
I also want to thank you, man, for coming here and chatting with me and just catching up. It's been a fucking pleasure, man.
Man, I appreciate you guys having me out here, man. Shout out to you and shout out to Ryan for having me here at Spare Bedroom Studios, man. I appreciate you guys. And
Yeah, that.
I hope I could deliver my positive message to the viewers out there for sure.
Well, I always ask guys to chat with me, the people I find interesting and people that inspire me. And you were one of those people, man. Like I love the
Appreciate you, bro.
positivity. I just love what you're doing, and just never change, man. Just keep doing you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, man. You too.
And everyone listening, like, just take what Shammy says. He's a great teacher. He's a motivational guy, and I used him as a guide for myself to help me. And I'm so thankful you're here today, brother.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you having me, man. Thanks again.
Yeah.